we're hopping in next to discuss the upcoming season. We Are Venom started October 1st, 2024. That was yesterday. And the premiere card, the card that comes with the season pass, Agent Venom, 2 cost, 4 power. On reveal, set the power of all your cards in your deck to 4. Now, first thing I wrote was Cerebro. That's all I had to write, Evan Bevins. What do you got?
Cerebro was my first thought as well. When I saw that, I was like, how would that really work? I wasn't totally sold on it, but now I saw somebody mention, it's great with your favorite archetype, Destroy, because you can get
Deadpool
up there, Wolverine, a few others. He also isn't bad insurance with Mr. Negative because, we've all been there and not drawn Mr. Negative. So you have Iron Man, Havoc starting at 4 instead of 0. That could be beneficial.
Very good point. And you didn't buy the season yet, you said, or you haven't.
I did not. I was going to sit this one out.
Okay. Well, this might be the first one that I do, and I'll report next month when we discuss things.
One thing, we're going to enter an area where I know next to nothing about these characters, but just in case you're a casual Spider-Man fan who hasn't read a lot on the comics, Agent Venom is Flash Thompson.
That's right. Yes, Agent Venom is Flash Thompson. He became Agent Venom, it was like in the late 2000s, 2010s, I think?
Yeah, it was after the symbiote separated from Eddie Brock, hung out with the Scorpion for a while, and then the U.S. government had Flash, who was a soldier who lost both legs below the knee in not Vietnam now because of the sliding Marvel timescale. But yeah, so the symbiote fashioned prosthetic legs too, and Flash became a member of the Secret Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's right, Agent Venom. Now you get to explain all of these symbiotes that we're going to be talking about here.
I looked up one of them.
I can do a couple. I know who our last one is. But
I know who the first one is.
The first one here is Scream. 2 cost, 2 power. When an enemy card moves, steal 2 power from it once per turn. So you can't do that more than that. And remind me, maybe I'm wrong here, is Scream the one that was hanging out with Carnage during Maximum Carnage? Or am I thinking of something? No. Okay.
You are thinking of Shriek.
Shriek. That's right.
Which is certainly understandable. Very similar name. No. Okay, so picture it. Sicily. No, I'm sorry. Picture it. Comic shops. 1993. Venom is the new anti-hero. He's like Spider-Man, but with teeth and drool. And, he's a bad dude, but we like him so much, maybe we're going to kind of make him a hero. What could be cooler than Venom? A meaner, nastier symbiote. Carnage. Who's like the Joker, but without the fashion sense. Then we have Carnage. There's another symbiote. This is crazy. What can they do next? Then we got Venom Lethal Protector, and there's more symbiotes. But one of them's different, Jesse.
Oh, yeah?
One of them has lady parts.
A woman?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
In Masters of the Universe, there was He-Man, Man-at-Arms, who did machinery and stuff, Stratos, who could fly, Mechaneck, who could stretch his neck, and Tila, who was a girl. I'm sure there is more to Scream's character than that, and she has this crazy hair that even Medusa might be a little jealous of. And then, of course, there's her catchphrase right before she pounds her enemies into the pavement where she looks them dead in the eye and says, "You like scary movies?"
Come on.
Wait a second. Okay, I may be getting some things mixed up. But I did drop a spotlight key, got her immediately, and have a pretty effective deck going with her now.
Okay, yeah. I mean, clearly what you want to do is move your opponent's cards as much as you possibly can. Magneto, Polaris, Absorbing Man to do it again, Spider-Man. And today, as we are talking, the featured location is Asteroid M, which is just, that's cruel. That's cruel.
Yeah. I did. It took me a minute until somebody else used Magneto on me, and I'm like, why am I not using Magneto?
Wow.
So didn't realize that Scream only did that once per turn, which is still effective. I also like to throw in Kingpin and Kraven, either on the same location or sometimes on different ones, just to take them down even more points. I was playing against somebody, I think it was only a 2-power card, but I got it down to -4 at one point. I did have Hercules in there for extra movement, but didn't quite figure it was worth it since Scream can only hit him once per turn. I think I worked in, this will shock you, but I think I put White Widow in there.
Wow. Well,
She wouldn't stop staring at me. So you can
look
join.
at somebody else.
Yeah, let's see. Black Widow is in there too. I got your buddy Cannonball in there, another card that moves somebody, and I figure White Widow and Black Widow have cards that'll take up space. So maybe, just maybe, by the end of the turn or by the end of the game, they won't have any place else to go, and I can replace them with a rock.
Very nice.
Got Stegron in there too. Juggernaut. Although I'm thinking about dropping Juggernaut and putting Arrow in there, because Juggernaut, it's still guesswork. With Arrow, it's guesswork as well, but you just have to play her not on the same location as the last card, whereas Juggernaut, you have to hit it where they're playing.
Right.
So Polaris is in there too, but like I said, I'm saving up, even though the character didn't do anything for me for Ajax, because I'd like to get Scream and Silver Sable and Kingpin with Ajax to see how many folks I can get negatively tagged there.
That'd be awesome. All right. Well, next up after that is Misery. 4 cost, 7 power. On reveal, repeat the on reveal abilities of your other cards here, then destroy them.
Did you think what I was thinking when you read that?
Tell me what you were thinking, because I don't know if I was.
She does not love company.
I did not. That is so on purpose. Yeah, so I put null because I watched the developer video. I was trying to figure out how did some of these things work and what would be the better combos. They mentioned Electro, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's good stuff right there.
That gives you +2 energy.
Yeah, you'd have turns 5, 6, and possibly 7 if you can get that going, and you would have 7, 8, and 9 energy to go on those 3 turns. So what are your thoughts here?
Electro, definitely. The Hood is another one. Get you an extra demon and get rid of that -3. Basically, any low power card with a good on reveal. If you're building up that much energy, it's always nice to have, but a lot of times I find I can't use it. Bring Sunspot along to pick up the leftovers.
Yeah, very good. Very smart.
And if you don't have Misery but think you're going to run into her a lot, make sure you have Red Hulk.
Good point. Yep, because you'll have that little
from that extra. I'm just looking at the Marvel fandom wiki. Apparently, Misery was Liz Allen, who was at Alchemax, present day Alchemax, not.
Oh, I was going to say, wait a second, from 2099. Okay,
but she was doing some experimentation on the Carnage symbiote, and I tend not to like Carnage stories because it's just, hey, it's a mass murderer who's better at mass murdering than other mass murderers. I have to say that this synopsis is something that makes me happy I read comics. Noting that the Carnage symbiote strain they had obtained refused to amalgamate with any of the others, Dr. Stephen and Liz Allen exposed a sample of it bonded to a chimpanzee named Grace to anti-venom serum.
Oh, boy.
They created a hybrid symbiote. It bonded to Liz, and then Grace, her symbiotes having stabilized into a copy of the Misery symbiote, attempted to kill Liz to avenge the experiments performed on her. Now, animal experimentation is not cool, but an alien symbiote controlled by a revenge-minded chimpanzee is comic book sanity that I can kind of approve of. Apparently that wasn't all Liz Allen, a bunch of symbiotes bonded, but yeah, it came from Cult of Carnage, which the word cult and the word carnage is enough to make me go, maybe I won't read that one.
Right.
But
all right.
Yeah, that's who Misery is. Hang on. What? That was the ultimate version of Misery. In the Marvel 616, it's a symbiote that bonded to a lonely fan of an author who had an accident.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. The civilian name is Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. Yep. Yes, okay. Indeed. Moving on.
Right.
Moving on.
You can edit that together so it actually sounds funny, right?
Oh yes, absolutely. Scorn, 1 cost, 2 power. When you discard this, return it to your hand to give +2 power to itself and one of your cards in play. So initially I was like, wow, this sounds like it's going to be a good time. And when just before we were getting ready to record, I started going through my stuff and I was like, you know what? What would be a great combo for this? Wong, Mystique, and Gambit. Gambit is hopefully eliminating cards on the other side while you are getting +2 to the card that's in your hand. Now, granted, you're probably not going to play that card, but it also gives it to one of your cards in play. So if that's happening over and over, I would assume it's going to give 8 power to cards that are out there on your side. while you're taking out cards on their side. I really think this one might be the one I go for this season. What about you?
It does look pretty cool. I had no idea who Scorn was. Apparently, it was a symbiote that briefly worn by Shriek.
Okay.
Not to be confused with Scream. And then it was also a psychiatrist assigned to Shriek who got a hold of it. So maybe the fact that it switches hosts is part of what came into that mechanic. But yeah, sounds like a good addition to the Collectasaur deck. You're getting +2 to one of your cards and Scorn. May get +1 to the collector every time she comes back.
Very good point.
And then Colleen Wing and Silver Samurai are good ones to discard. Those low power ones might be good to run her with Dakin. Because, hey, if he gets some of that bonus and then you double it up with the Miramasa shard, that's just another low power card to destroy. So, yeah, I can see you doing some cool stuff with that one.
So, remember when we used to have the discussions on what characters are left for them to use? I don't think we would have ever landed on all of the symbiotes from these. I mean, granted, they're doing a good job using characters that are attuned to the season. Every single, this one for sure would have been how we ranked our season, which we ought to do again. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary doing this.
Shortly after, I think it was in November. This month is the Snap anniversary.
Right. This is definitely on theme. We are Venom and getting nothing but Venom related characters.
And a lot of them are, at least Scream is kind of pointed at taking down the move meta, the Spider Society, Spider-Verse, that's the word I was looking for, folks. So, and of course, you got Venom 3, for better or worse, coming out. No, it's not the subtitle. It's the subtitle is The Last Dance, but you got the third Venom movie coming out. Didn't really like Venom, did not like the second Venom. Kind of debating going to see this one in the theater. Tom Hardy is so good in a movie that otherwise does not appeal to me at all.
All right, next up, Agony. 1 cost, 2 power. After you play a card here, merge this with it. I feel like they were running out of stuff for all these cards to do because we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards this season, counting the premier card that comes with the season. So this one was like, after you play a card here, merge this with it. It does not seem too impressive. It's like a 1 cost chimichanga, and a chimichanga costs 0. But then again, you can't get a chimichanga unless you get that location, so it's pretty rare. Is there some kind of a combo or something I'm missing here?
You play it first. You could make your Cerebro or Mystique a 2 power. Or the Hood, it would still be a -1, but then you bring Marvel Boy along. I use Marvel Boy quite a bit again this season.
Oh, did you?
You could do something with that, or with a zoo deck, where you're trying to fill up a bunch of locations. It's just an extra 2 points that doesn't take up a space. And it's only 1 cost. In some of the Gilgamesh decks I've done, you want as many cards boosted as possible, but some of the cards that boost other cards don't boost themselves. Maybe you play her, then you play a Koye on her, and then you got 1 more boosted card. So, I mean, yeah, it's not going to, probably not going to win you a game or anything, but, an extra 2 points, I've had some crazy ties that I'm like, how on earth did it work out exactly like that? So every little bit helps.
You got a good point there. It does come down to just a single point sometimes, or 2 points. I can dig that.
Then I was looking Agony up on the fandom wiki, and after I did all that about, they made a girl symbiote. Wow, because that's the only way there were 2 girl symbiotes. Agony was the other.
Agony was? Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, she was monotone. Her hair is not that, I don't know. But I'm looking at a picture of her and her name's Agony. Even though she's a fictional character, I probably don't want to tick her off. How low do we have to go on the list to get characters that I have never heard of or saw and totally forgot?
Exactly.
Now I'm seeing links. There's a lot more other symbiotes, and I don't even think we've gotten to the one that merged with a dog. I forget his name.
Well, after this is Toxin. 2 cost, 1 power. On reveal, return your other cards on here to your hand, and +2 for each returned. So yeah, this is collector all the way, in my opinion. You use this with collector. Anything else that's sitting there that you could have, it'd be nice to have maybe play Grandmaster and have her do it on the other one, give everybody +2. But yeah, that was my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, kind of like a a combination of the Beast and the Collector. Get him back in your hand is good for Devil Dinosaur. You get to play him again. Get Silver Sable out there twice, White Widow, Black Widow. You want it to be pretty low cost. I mean, heck, you could even...
I like the Beast idea. Imagine having 3 cards down there. You lay out Beast. I don't know what it could be. Beast is a 3 cost, right? Or is he 2 cost? 3 cost?
He's 3.
Okay, so you play 3 1-cost cards. By turn 3, you lay out Beast, get them all down to 0, lay them all out again, but play Toxin, and now return them back to your hand with their 0 cost with the 2 power. Lay them out there again. No, wait, lay them out in the middle lane, and then turn around and Grandmaster Toxin into the middle lane and return them back to your hand with another +2 power. So now you have 3 cards in your hand. If Collector's out there during this whole time, I don't know if you'd be able to math once again. I don't know if I could do it in my head as to how the turns would all unfold, but you get those out there, you get them back, you get them out there again, get them back. If you could do that 3 times somehow, I know you could probably pull it off twice, but you have 0 cost cards with +4 on top of whatever they have, which would be pretty cool. But anyway,
I'm trying to think of the logistics, but you could do it twice with the help of Symbiote Spider-Man. Maybe get him out there, clear everybody out, get Spider-Man out there, activate him, do it again. I don't know. You could get, and just playing Symbiote Spider-Man on him gives you a 14. But I guess if he can't throw anybody else back to your hand, that's unnecessary. He looks fun.
I agree.
He was actually the offspring of Carnage, and he bonded with a cop initially. I met him in HeroClix. I don't think I'd ever seen a comic with him, but he was a prize I wanted a HeroClix tournament.
All right.
And then I guess at one point his police officer host died, and he bonded with Eddie Brock for a while. I think when Eddie was symbioteless. So.
Well, speaking of Eddie Brock,
now it's bonded to a teenager named Bren Waters. I'm reading this. I said Cult of Carnage, and I read King in Black. Some of it was good, some of it wasn't. But now I'm kind of like, maybe I need to look at some of these symbiotes.
Well, speaking of Eddie Brock, isn't that going to be our next card? Anti-Venom, 4 cost, 6 power. Am I right there?
Yes, that was Eddie back when Matt Gargan, a.k.a. the Scorpion, was wearing the Venom symbiote.
Okay.
Although at one point after Eddie became Venom again, Flash Thompson became Agent Anti-Venom.
Agent Anti-Venom.
Yeah, but if this one has the jaggedy teeth and stuff, it's Eddie.
On reveal, set the cost and power of your deck's top card to 0. Why? The cost and power?
Mm-hmm.
There are only a very few select cards that I could think would even matter for, and you have to know what's coming up after that. So can you tell me what is the big deal here? They mentioned something in the developers video.
I watched it and I can't remember. But I can think of a few it might work with. Mainly, you wouldn't want Red Hulk or, the Hulk or somebody like that to be a 0/0. But if it's a card where the effect is more important than the power, then that could work out. I'd take the leader at 0/0.
That's fair.
Yeah, you want Howard the Duck or you're just crossing your fingers. Think about Mr. Negative at 0/0.
Yeah.
Or in a really, really obscure and unlikely one, it's a great counter to Baron Mordo. I don't think they play Baron Mordo anymore. Let's see. Who else could it work with? The Hood. 0/0, you're just taking up the space, but you get a 1/6 demon.
Any low power, high cost.
Yeah.
So
Arnim Zola,
Iron Man.
Yep.
And Jubilee wouldn't be too bad. I mean, she's a 4/1. You get her out there.
It's basically nice. getting you a late card with no cost, but also no power. But I mean, think about, here's where it'd be dangerous.
Okay. Yeah. 0 cost, 0 power. He's already 0 power, and it's the ongoing. Yeah. Boy, that would be dangerous.
Okay. Here's another one. Play him with Luke Cage. It doesn't matter. You're getting a 0 cost. If you've got Red Hulk out there,
ooh,
his power can't be lowered.
Nice. That's that's the key right there. Anti-Venom and Luke Cage. Just like the pages of
Web of Spider-Man, number 208. Web of Spider-Man did not last that long. But there's definite cards that could work with. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm overcomplicating it, but maybe with a Mr. Negative deck, you didn't get Jane Foster out there. Now it's getting too complicated, but zero Jane Foster and she pulls all your zero cost cards out. I can see it coming in handy.
I want Howard out there.
Mm-hmm.
Psylocke. That way you have the option to use anti-venom on turn 3 if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pull your 0/0 at that point. So yeah.
Well, but you can pull the 0/0, but then you could keep it in your hand till you need it. I'd take a 0/0 Silver Surfer at the end of a game.
Oh yeah, Silver Surfer, man. Yeah, okay. All right. It's going to be really useful. All right. Let's talk about locations. First up, Feast. Feast, which please explain what in the heck is that?
That's a food pantry and shelter that Aunt May volunteers at. It was founded by Martin Lee, who you might know better as Mr. Negative.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Well, after you play a card there, all players get +1 energy next turn. So everybody gets an extra energy, a little bit of, if you got a chance to sit down and eat, maybe you're feeling up to just doing a little bit extra. So Yay. What are you thinking, man?
The way I read it at first, it sounds like any time you play a card here, but it's got to just be the first time, right?
Yeah. So they obviously don't spell it out here, but I feel like we've encountered after you play a card, that was it. But then again, I don't know. I can't recall anything in the past where they continue to do it over and over. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Also, I believe the Feast Center is where Aunt May met a lost and frightened man named Norman Osborn in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Ooh, wow. Okay. You got any additional thoughts on Feast?
No, just to probably a good one to run Sunspot and or She-Hulk, especially if it happens more than once. So I may just switch over to my Savage Sword of Shulkanaut deck that day.
Nice. All right, and then the last location they have listed here is Our Lady of Saints. When your revealed cards fill this, merge them into a symbiote. So this is interesting. I mean, I think that the big thing you would want to do is possibly throw stuff on the other person's side. Depending on what they're playing, you could throw wrenches into their schemes if they got ongoings, or especially if they got ongoings. And make sure to have Shang-Chi along with it. Because let's just say, they're packing some pretty big high power stuff, and you're able to use debris, and it merges this big symbiote. You can take them out with one punch and have Absorbing Man there to carry it on over. I put down Goblins, Legion, Debris, Gambit. Gambit's going to be able to take out that one card, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, no, I just kind of build off your lead. White Widow, Viper to send something unwanted over there, Annihilus, maybe Quake to, if they're loading up somewhere else, to bounce it over there. Or maybe Jean Grey. Make them load everything up there. Of course, you'd have to do that for yourself, too. But
I like the Jean Grey idea, though. Yeah. All right. Well, there it is, folks. That's our discussion and our thoughts on the upcoming season. We Are Venom. It's already dropped. It's out there. Go check it out. I think we're ready to get on out of here. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. Evan Bevins.
There you go. No, I was agreeing with you.
All right.
If you'd like to hear the same weird ideas without the sound of my voice, you can check out my blog, asterisk51.blogspot.com. Working my way through the Amalgam books. Probably going to take a detour for some Halloween type stuff this month. That'll include some free comics from Free Comic Book Day and Halloween Comic Fest, #Free Comic Friday, and some horror movies or general weirdness from the movie selections at Dollar Tree, #Dollar Tree Cinema.
All right. I'm going to throw the plugs in at the end. You can check them out there. We got all sorts of fun stuff here on the Source Material Comics podcast feed. So if you're listening to this, most likely you're already hearing some other stuff that we have out there. This has been the Snap Material Podcast. That's Evan Bevins. I'm Jesse Starcher. Have a good one. Bye-bye.